hello again, and welcome to Roland's Reviews. How you doing, Chef Finest Wine? So I'm still talking about this topic because it is hot all over every form of social media that you can think of. How you doing, Callie King? Everyone's coming in, filling up the chat room now. So again, how you doing, Gina? You know how we do here at the Roland's Reviews YouTube channel. Everyone has their say. We all agree. We can all agree, or we can all agree to disagree. That is fine. But this is a hot, trending topic. And so, again, the goal, I want everyone to be informed because I'm learning something new every day. How you doing, Grand Foodie 70? So just know that some of these people you may have heard of. I'm not sure. Obviously, I can't really play video. I don't want to be copyrighted. I have a little video. I was going to let you hear some volume too, but don't worry. In the description box up under the video, you know that I have the links. I have the full videos. So if you click on the links, and we've been talking about this for the past 3 weeks so far as the Black American support of Trump, it continues to soar. And it's not, folks, it's not going away. And thank you, Gina. And so people are trying to figure out why it is continuing to soar. We've talked about some of those reasons. Any of you who, how you doing, Octavian? Prime time, how are you? Any of you who are familiar with Angela Stanton King, I just actually was, watching some videos on this subject, and I was like, oh my goodness, I had never heard about her or her situation. So I'll play a little bit of that as we, if you can hear that. How you doing, Rhonda? Hopefully you can hear it clearly. I have the iPad up as loud as it'll go. And just type your comments in the comments section, and we'll talk about some of the things we've been talking about for the past few weeks, basically. So hopefully you can hear this. It's nice and loud.
To President Donald Trump, I want to say this because a lot of people accuse this man of being a racist. And I just want to say that I've met President Donald Trump working on criminal justice reform. I, too, was one of the ones that said, no, I don't want to go talk to that man. I don't know him. He hates black people. Well, that's what they said. And so they said, well, Angela, he's working on criminal justice reform. You have a story. Many of you may or may not know that I served time in a Georgia state prison. And while I was serving time in that prison, I was pregnant. And when it was time for me to deliver my baby, I was transported to a hospital here in Georgia by a police officer, and I was chained to a bed, and I was forced to give birth to my baby with a sheriff watching for a nonviolent crime. Also separated from my family for a nonviolent crime. But the Democrats said we only supposed to fight for the family separation at the border. They forgot all about the family separation in the border. They want Trump to apologize for the CP5, but they ain't demanded that Joe Biden apologize for the 94 crime bill. But that's something else. I had a story. They told me that this man was a racist, but I had a story, and I knew that if I could use my story to convince this man that there was a need to reform our criminal justice system, then I would do that. I wasn't going to be worried about emotions. I wasn't going to be worried about the media. I wasn't going to worry about the naysayers. I was going to go in with my story and see if I could make a difference. I found myself sitting in front of President Trump in the Oval Office, and I shared my story. This is the man that they told me was a racist. I don't know. I'm scared to death. Is he going to hang me? I don't know. Is he going to call the KKK the way that the media has portrayed it? I'm in a danger zone. Just so happened that he heard my story. Not only did he pass the First Step Act, but he also made it illegal for them to chain women to the bed during their childbirth. This white man that they told me was a racist. They told me he hated black people. So not only did he just sign one of the most historic forms of criminal justice reform legislation to ever hit this nation, overturning the 94 crime bill that massively incarcerated Black America, freeing nearly 20,000 people to this day. The First Step Act. I sat in the Oval Office with a lot of criminal justice reform advocates. I saw Kim Kardashian on the front page taking her pictures. I saw Alice Johnson. I saw Louis Reed. I saw Van Jones. I saw Jessica Jackson. I saw what's her name, Vivica Fox. I saw Isaiah Washington. But I don't see any of them here today. A lot of people want to take a lot of credit for being criminal justice reform experts, criminal justice reform advocates, but to tell the truth, you didn't free nobody. Trump did. Kim Kardashian had the nerve to put up a tweet to say free Gunna. Gunna is a YSL rapper tied to the Young Thug case, charged with RICO, the same DA, the same charges. You put up a tweet and say free a known gangster in Atlanta, Georgia, but you won't put up a tweet and say free President Trump. And the only reason you getting any credit for freeing anybody is because President Donald J. Trump signed the papers. As a criminal justice reform advocate, somebody that's grateful to President Donald Trump for giving me a second chance, giving me an opportunity to run for Congress by clearing my record. Somebody who was completely oblivious to the corruption that happens in Atlanta, Georgia. I just wanted to do something for my community. I refuse to be silent. Not only will I stand for Atlanta, Georgia, not only will I stand for America, not only will I stand for the babies being aborted in the womb, not only will I stand for the mothers that choose life, I'm also going to stand with President Donald Trump.
How beautiful, man. God bless this lady. Her speech was a bit longer, so I made sure to put the video link in the description so you can go and watch it, listen to it.
So what did you guys think about that? So there are so many, and I actually have this. You can watch it in its entirety. I have the video link in the description box. So again, this is a trending topic on YouTube. How you doing, End of the Bench Media? So what do you think? Where do we go from here? This is not going away, and right, Gina, and I have I think 2 other maybe videos and a couple of articles up under in the description box. But I didn't know anything about this. Now, what she's referencing was that crime bill where there was mass incarceration. We remember with the crack epidemic. We know that it wasn't fair. If you had crack, you received more time, where if you had powder, of course, you received less time. So that's what she was referencing, that crime bill, because we know in the heyday of the crack epidemic, crime was rampant. So that's what she was referencing. And of course, Joe Biden, he's responsible for some of that as well. But with the act that she was mentioning, because as she said, she had been incarcerated for a nonviolent crime, but that was called the First Step Act. And I think roughly 5,000 people were released from jail as a result of the First Step Act. So that, she's talking about criminal justice reform. We've heard about it for years. End of the Bench gave us some stats here. Powder, you would get 1 to 3. Crack, you would get 6 to 30. Yeah. And I think the excuse was that crack was more devastating to people, but drugs are drugs. So, that was the argument that was used. Okay. So also, there was, I don't look at college football, but I wanted to share with you another little video. This was at Iowa football game. So it seems, of course, I did my first video in this little series once Trump was arrested, and this was it was a Trump tailgate, And so it was really it was really something to behold. All right, so I wanted to share that, a little bit of that with you, get that going. And again, I have this video down in the description box. So it seems since his arrest, he is just taken off in popularity. So this was yesterday. This was at the Iowa State football game. Okay.
Thank you, everybody. Oh, look, my man is here. Come on, I got it.
All right, so again, you can look at all these videos in the description box. So what do you think? Usually when people are arrested, people run away from them, but it seems that this has had the opposite effect. And what are your thoughts on that? Yeah, Iowa Penn State game. Okay, I got some college football watchers in here. So what do you think about his popularity continuing to soar? And I have another excellent video. It's in the description box. Any of you who are familiar with Craig Scott, and he says that even more, I think he'd been arrested as well. And then he was released from jail thanks to the First Step Act. And so he's also saying, and all this, the videos I share with you, and you can read the articles. I try to share a variety with you, but he's saying the same thing. He was released and now he's an advocate, and he's saying more and more Black men are going to support Trump in 2024. So what are your thoughts about that? And it's just a strange solidarity that has formed. And the other Republicans are scared because they haven't been able to garner. How you doing, Terry? They have been unable to garner a significant amount of the Black vote, but then they really didn't try hard. They figured, look, do the math, look at the statistics, and the amount of African Americans who were voting Republican, they were like, it's not even worth our time. So they're scrambling. They're seeing now, well, hey, he's getting their votes. So, what's he doing differently? Okay. So what are your thoughts on that? And that Gina, it's very interesting. I can't stop watching videos. How you doing, Lady Libra? It's all over the internet. It's all over YouTube. It's having, again, usually when people get arrested, that normally has a negative connotation. Not in this case. It has created a solidarity, and the Republicans are scrambling, the Democrats are scrambling, everyone's scrambling but Trump, and he was the one who was arrested. Go figure. All right, so regardless of how you vote, folks, guys, please hit that like button. If you hit the like button, YouTube will share this content with even more people. Partner, please share this on your various forms of social media. You as well, Gina, Lady Libra. So both parties are scrambling because they thought that, once he was arrested, that was the end of it. It's just beginning. And so now the Democrats are backpedaling. The Republicans are really backpedaling, okay? Because they're like, well, we've been unable to garner this support. Look at what he's doing. The Democrats have never really had to do anything. They've had Black Americans in their back pockets for so long. Those that don't know, how you doing, Mo Dollars? Thank you for liking and sharing the content, folks. So, I like to share this content with you, but it's amazing. It's astounding. And the pundits just don't know what to do. How you doing, Sugar Daddy? So tell me what your thoughts are. And I can't stop reading this content. I can't stop watching these videos. And again, the Democrats are just stunned. They have no clue. I think Kamala Harris, she's now on an HBCU tour. And I was on Instagram. And so people are now calling her out because you have, Some people that just vote, and folks, we've been saying this for years. You can't vote for people just because of the tone of their skin color. You have to look at what they stand for now, what they stood for in the past, okay? And then try to make an intelligent decision. Sometimes we don't have the best choices, but I say if you do a little reading, a little research, you can find out people's record. It's not that difficult. So whichever way that you vote, you guys know how I feel. I feel that both parties have failed us, and once we vote, either side, whoever you vote for, once they get up there, sometimes they're just with party, 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 and they sort of kind of forget their constituents who actually put them there. So I just feel that, again, regardless of who you vote for, this is just so interesting. I cannot stop watching it. And, you know, yeah, wow. Tell me what you feel in the comment section. Every day I watch a new video and I am stunned. I am shocked. And uh, I just can't wait until the election to see what's actually um, how this is all going to play out. They're doing all these Gallup polls and all these other polls, and just they're going around interviewing African Americans. And even now, uh, with Kamala Harris, I'm reading a lot of the comments that are being made. Um, I've been on Instagram, Facebook, because she's making a lot. A lot of the African Americans are saying, where have you been all this time? Now they're sending you down here to pander to us to get our votes. So they're calling her out. And I was, like I said, I was on a Instagram page, and I was like, wow. Whereas, years ago, everybody was, oh, we're just glad to see you. Da, 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 da. No, they're calling her out. We voted for you. We haven't seen you. You've done nothing. So I was shocked. Um, wow. So, regardless of how you feel, how you vote, folks, hold people accountable, whichever side you decide to vote for. That's all. That's the best policy. Um, and I didn't realize politics was so popular on YouTube. But the last video I did last week, the week before that, how you doing, John? The week before that, I also talked about African Americans supporting Trump, and those videos have taken off astronomically. And so it's just like, why everyone's still in shock that all this is happening. Lady Libra says, I just can't believe how many of us African Americans are Trump support. Yeah, Lady Libra, I shared videos with you. I shared articles. All that's in the description box. And I can't make this stuff up. That's what's going on. Here I share with you. How you doing, Cha Cha? I share with you uh, the facts. I do reading, I do research, I go to more than one website, I look at more than one video, and that's just what is going on. And I like to talk about current topics because that's relevant. I think most of us vote. Okay, so again, what are your thoughts? It's so amazing. I told you, now this video will take off just as well because so many people are intrigued by this topic. The end of the bench media. The question I ask is, what are we asking for? Instead of asking what she's done, what do we want? And that's excellent too, end of the bench, because people have to realize when you vote people into office, they can't go up there and say, okay, I want this, 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 and this. We're talking about Congress, we're talking about Senate, the Senate. You can't just go up there and ask for something and automatically here it's done. That's not how things work. And we know if we have a Democratic president and a Republican Senate, it depends on who's leading in the House. There's so many factors that you have to factor in. You can't just say, well, this person didn't do this. This person, you have to have, like what I've been talking about. The parties have to come together and work together with the president. That's how it's supposed to be. Kurt Boyer, Biden put so many nonviolent black people in prison. that without the media's massive help, he probably wouldn't garner 1 million black vote. Oh, Kurt Boyer. I actually saw that. Yeah, that crime bill was devastating to the black community. Kurt Boyer, you are dead on accurate. You're correct. Um, and I don't know how many of you, even Kamala Harris, I know a lot of people, love her, but there are a lot of black men in California that hate her guts. Before she became VP, there are a lot of people who were in jail on trumped up charges, things that they did not do. And she had the power to release them, and she did not. I've seen several videos on black males, and they're not saying anything nice about Kamala Harris. Um, the end of the bench says, "I know an elected official personally, and he told me black folks voted me in, but poor folks call and make demand." Yeah, right, Kurt. And so again, what have we been saying for the past couple of weeks? Guys, hit that like button for me, please. I'm enjoying this conversation. We could bring even more people in. We have got to go. We can't be monolithic. We have got to look at the person's record. Okay, look at their values and see if their values align with our values. Okay, and if they're a Democrat, Republican, Independent, whatever the case may be, that's when you vote. That's how you should vote, with what you feel comfortable with. Not because of someone's skin tone. Um, Kurt Boyer said, and her prison labor abuse too. Yes, Kurt knows his. Kurt, you've been doing some reading. Yeah, Kamala Harris. Like I said, when she was first voted in, people were so happy. When you go on social media now, there's a lot of negative talk. I mean, African Americans, and they're not, especially black males, because of what Kurt just mentioned. But people are now saying, and I responded on one of the pages on Instagram, and so because someone said, "Why is she here?" She was at A&T in Greensboro, my alma mater, North Carolina A&T State University, and she was there smiling and talking to people, talking about what she was going to do. But I was reading those comments, and people were, I've never seen, people were in attack mode. Several people, some people are like, "Glad you're here," but several people, I was shocked. They were saying, "Where have you been? You've done nothing. Now you're here because you want our votes again." So what do you think about that? Lady Libra said, "Yes, we should not just vote Republican or Democrat. It's time for a change." And I've been saying that for years. I've been displeased with both parties for years. So this is nothing new. It's just shocking that, and now in my lifetime, okay, now older people, John Joyner and some of the older people on here, you lived during a time when a lot of African Americans were voting Republican. My lifetime, we primarily voted Democrat for the most part. Not all, but for the most part, most African Americans were voting Democrat, because what were we always told? We were always told the Democrats were for the poor people, and that the Republicans were for the rich people. If you've heard that before, type that in the comment section. That's what we've always been told. And now, again, internet didn't really blow up till I was in graduate school. That was in the 90s. So now, so back then, you were told something and you were like, "Well, okay." But now everyone has access to the internet. So, folks, before you vote for anyone, you can do all the research. I do a lot of reading and a lot of research. You can as well. Cha, I was asked to do low gas price would lead me to Trump. Okay, Cha says she likes low gas prices, so that's leading her to Trump. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Correct. Golden Nova, how are you? Golden Nova says, "Exactly. We need to watch their public broadcasting, read their beliefs on their website, and look at their actions before they get in office." Yes, everyone has access to the internet now, folks. There's no excuse. Now, again, the internet blew up in the 90s. I graduated from graduate school, I think, in 96. And it was just getting going. It was just starting. Sugar daddy, yes, told and taught, unfortunately. Yes. So it doesn't matter what someone tells you. We all have either a smartphone, a tablet, a Chromebook, internet. Everyone has internet just about. Very few people don't have internet. And if you don't, you can go to the library and use it for free. I know what they call them media centers now, but I'm old. I still call them libraries. So what do you think about that? As you see, like I said, um, you don't have to say, well, I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican. There may be a Republican, you may be registered as a Republican, but there may be a Democrat who has some ideas that you really like. It's okay. You don't have to vote a straight party ticket. Okay. Golden Nova, if they change their party affiliation, there should be you think there should be penalized, Golden Nova? Okay, yeah, they've done that. Okay, they have. K Will, did I miss your comment? Uh K Will, these comments, type it again, K Will. I think I may have missed you. So what do you think, folks? And again, we all get along fine. As I often say, us out here, at each other's throats, we won't be able to see what's really going on. We, as Americans, have to come together. Not all this group is over here, this group is over here. And then the government's off doing what they want to do. John Joyner said we should speak out about illegals voting. Okay, we know that's an issue. Matter of fact, John, I was going to talk about that maybe next week or the week after if I don't have a guest speaker. So we definitely have to talk about that too. And I looked at some videos, something else I want to talk about. Some videos of people who live in Chicago. They're being displaced by immigrants, and they're very upset. And now they're angry. And we know for 100 years Chicago's been Democratic. We know that. And now these people that have lived in Chicago all their lives, I was watching the video on that yesterday. They're upset. They're losing their housing, their jobs, and they're very upset. So again, look at the people that you're voting for and see where they stand on issues, especially that are going to affect you. Now, with me being an educator, primarily when I vote, I'm looking at how people stand on education. All right. When I get older, when I retire from teaching, uh, I'm going to be looking at where they stand on Social Security. Okay. And older American topics and issues. So, Chef Finest Wine, I want to learn about this no cash bail thing in Chicago. Okay, partner, we could talk about that too. Um, so if you look at a lot of things that are going on, how you doing, Patricia? Hit that like button for me. If you look at a lot of things that are going on, and we could discuss all of these topics. Matter of fact, I'll bring my MacBook and I'll start. Sometimes I share videos with you. I'm talking, and then I have a video playing beside me. So we definitely gonna have to do that too. So folks, think about who you're voting for, what they represent, and don't be bamboozled. This day and age, 2023, there is no excuse. Lady Libra, Trump tried to change the outcome of the last election. If he's allowed to run again and loses, will he send the good old boys to break into the White House next? Okay, that's a good statement, Lady Libra. What do you guys think? Do you think that this upcoming election will be fair and impartial and that we won't have another January 6th incident? What do you think? That's an excellent question. Golden Nova, newly elected Democrats seated in positions turning Republican or independent while in the seat. Oh, yeah, they shouldn't be allowed to do that because you never know who's influencing people. If you're seated as a Democrat, you shouldn't be allowed to change midstream. If you're seated as a Republican, you shouldn't be allowed to change midstream. So you're absolutely right. And so Robin says, see the light of an old man with no cognitive ability, and he is a thief. Okay, so she's talking about Biden. So with all the criminal charges against Trump, you have people also saying, well, what about Biden and his family and all the criminal activities they were involved in? So folks, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So, hey, everyone that's involved in criminal activities, no one should be above the law. and that includes Biden. Um, so sugar daddy, Social Security, Medicare, right? Sugar daddy. So as we get older, topics change. Things that are important to us. Now, when I retire, education will still be important to me, but not as important as it is now because I'm still teaching. Does that make sense, folks? Obviously, like I said, now I can retire in 3 years from teaching, but I'm still, young. I'm too young to get my Social Security, so I still have several years before I can get that. But I'll have my 30 years in with the state of North Carolina. So anything, in reference to our Blue Cross Blue Shield insurance, that's important to me. Retirement. How you doing, Stacy? So think about everything that's important to you before you pull that lever, before you bubble in that ballot. And it doesn't matter if you're registered as a Democrat and you have a Republican who or mirrors your values. It's okay to vote for them. That I sometimes when I vote, I never do a straight ticket. I'll pick and choose. Sometimes I vote for independents. So it just depends on who's voting and where they stand on issues that are important to me. Golden Nova says, this election, we need to know their playbook on how they're trying to stop our votes. Okay, good. We need to understand the past so they don't use those tactics again. Okay, so again, excellent point, Golden Nova. Everyone needs to know their rights. So before you get ready to vote, go online and learn the procedure. So you're not, like some people that were saying, some polls were closed and all these other horror stories that we heard about. Do some research and find out what your rights are in reference to voting. Excellent point, guys. Excellent point. I'm not going to keep you very long. Please, please, please. Even if you're busy now, when you get some time, look at the videos up under in the description box up under my video, and you will be astounded. And I'm going to keep on talking about this topic because it's still hot. Okay. Anyone else have anything to say in the comments section? You guys were pretty vocal today, and I love it. The more you talk, the better conversation we have, and I love it. And guys, if you enjoy this content, please share this on your various forms of social media. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy reading and researching, sharing information with you, having an excellent conversation with you. That's what I enjoy doing on my Sundays, and I really look forward to it. And you just don't know how much I appreciate you spending your very valuable time here at the Rollins Reviews YouTube channel, because of all the places where you could be, you're here. That says a lot. Sugar Daddy said redistricting has become a major current local issue. Sugar Daddy, that's becoming an issue in North Carolina as well. So again, do your research, folks. Make sure they're not redistricting so that your vote doesn't count. So you see people, and I've said this before, and when Miss Spicy, Rhonda Morrison was on here before, you see people on those smartphones. They're playing games all the time. How about doing some research sometimes? Find out about redistricting. That's very important. If you are redistricted or zoned differently, that could make it so that your vote will be no factor. So make sure. Good point, Sugar Daddy. Lady Libra. Yes, and the Republicans have and continue to try to change the Social Security because it doesn't affect them as it does the poor people. Yeah, Lady Libra, I would like to get my Social Security before when I retire. God knows they've been taking money out of my check forever. So let's hope. I hope and pray. As I age, yes, Lady Libra, I'm going to be voting for people that's going to be trying to protect Social Security. And those of us who have older relatives who currently receive Social Security, that's a very important factor. Golden Nova said, please, especially on voting, when you talk about the 1619 project, they talk about all of that redlining and everywhere in between. Okay, I'll do a little research. Yeah, and I saw a little video on that on Netflix, 1619 project. So you guys brought up some excellent points there. So we'll have to get into that. But I hope if you guys enjoyed this subject matter, type it in the comment section that you enjoyed it. And It was on Hulu too. Yeah. Okay. Great. So, hey, I'm going to take into consideration everything that you guys said you'd like for me to talk about, and we will see. So, Sugar Daddy, you hope there's Social Security when you retire. Sugar Daddy, I have, ooh, how many years until, what is it, 67? I have several years, so I hope and pray that it's still around. Thank you so much, Golden Nova. Thank you, Lady Libra. I enjoy talking about these topics. And again, one thing I love about this channel, we don't have people on here name calling. We don't have people on here saying calling people out for their opinion. That's why I love my demographic. You may be, we may be of different, party affiliations. That's okay. Guys, let's get back to, it's okay for us there to be differences. There's not, what's wrong with that? Okay. So keep that in mind. And I hope to see you here next Sunday at the Roland's Reviews YouTube channel. All of my Joe Boo Sports Report or BAM Media subbies, I'll be over there in a few minutes. As soon as I end this live, I'm coming because we got to make sure those Cowboys win today. So folks, type in the comment section any other topics you want me to discuss in reference to this or whatever. Write me a comment. All of you who've been here for a while know I respond to all comments. Okay. All right. Hope to see you here next Sunday at the Roland's Reviews YouTube channel. That's right, Sugar Daddy. Go Cowboys. That's where I'm going right now.